sunflower. I'm so glad you decided to join me today, and we'll do a little fun painting exercise with watercolor paints. So make sure you have all of your supplies. You've got your paints, your 3 brushes, a pencil and an eraser, and make sure you have some water. I like to put down a placemat just so I don't get water on my table. All right. So the very first thing you're going to do is take out a piece of your paper from your pad. And I like to tape it down on the edges. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a sunflower. So let's go ahead and kind of go to the center of the paper here and kind of draw, say, a half circle and draw really light. There you go. So that's the center of your sunflower. And then let's go ahead and do some sunflower petals. And all the petals are just kind of different shapes and sizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the first layer, because if you look at a sunflower, it's got layers of petals. Okay. So let's go ahead and just freehand some of these petals. Okay. So there's your first layer. And then go ahead and come back and we're going to do a second layer of petals, kind of in between that first layer. All right. There you go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the background right here. Okay. So let's look at your paints. So it's kind of hard to tell, but this is black, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and brown at the bottom. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is going to take your fatter brush here, and we're going to put some water in your colors. So you decide what color you want to do the little background. I like the purples and the blues, but you could do reds if you want, a little bit of red. Okay. And just let it sit for just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to start out with some purple. I'm just going to kind of go around each of the petals here. Kind of starting a little background here. And if you feel like, see how this looks a little dry right here? Just put a little bit more water and it just kind of blends it really nice. Okay. And we'll get a little bit more purple going and then we'll add some blue, kind of blend some blue in the background. I really like watercolors because they're very forgiving. You just see, add a little extra water and it just really blends nicely. Okay, so now let's take just to get your brush wet again. And we're going to take a little bit of blue and just kind of run that blue through here. And then add a little bit more water and it just really blends it really nice. Okay, let's go around the petals a little bit more. Blend a little bit more if you want up here. I use a lot of water when I'm doing my watercolors, so it just kind of helps it blend a little bit more. See, just add a little bit more water and it just blends really nice. Do a little bit of blue here. Sorry. All right, how you guys doing? I have done this painting a couple of times and it's super neat the way each time it comes out a little different. So art, I don't want your sunflower to look exactly like mine. I want you to make it the way you want it. Art is what you like or what makes you happy. So see right here, if you want to just kind of blend that in a little bit, just take a little bit of extra water. Just kind of blends it really nice. All right, now let's get down here, get a little bit more water, and then let's add just maybe a touch of blue right in here. All right, what do you think? Okay, let's let that dry just a little bit. And what I want you to do right now is take your yellow and get some good water. Drip some water in that yellow right here. Let it sit for just a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the petals. And the way I look at a sunflower is I think the tips of the petals are a little bit lighter. And then as you start coming into the center, they get a little darker. So we're going to take the yellow and we're just going to kind of put it along the tops of the petals here. Okay. So let's just take the tops of the petals a little bit. When we start getting into some of the detail, we'll make the layered part, that second layer underneath, a little bit darker. Oops. All right, let's stop right here. We'll do that part. And then what we're going to do, go ahead and put a little bit of water in your orange here. And this is your orange. So with watercolors, you don't want to let it dry too much because then it's really kind of hard for it to blend. All right, so let's start. Start up here. Get a little bit of orange going. Remember I said it's a little bit darker towards the center of the flower. So just start out with the dark here, and it kind of brings it up into that petal there. All right, let me show you what I did right there. See how it's a little bit darker? So what I did is I took a little bit of orange, just kind of put it right here, and then just a teeny tiny bit of brown. So it kind of makes it just a touch darker. So you can see a little contrast in between the top petal and the lower layer of the petal. And if you don't like these lines here, just dip your brush into some water and you can carefully just blend that in just like that. Okay. So each time you change colors, make sure that you rinse your brush out really good. All right, now let's come back and we're going to put some more of the yellow on the tips of those petals here. All right, I'm running out of water. I need to get a little bit more water in that yellow. I don't know about you, but painting makes me happy. I like to be able to be a little creative. All right, let's stop right there. Remember I said you really kind of want it to be wet still so you can get some, have it blend a little bit. So let's start out again with the orange, just plain old orange. I'm going to start at the center right here. Just kind of blend that up just like that. So right here, since these are kind of that second layer, let's go ahead and we'll do the orange again with just a touch of brown. Okey-doke. So let's move on to these last petals here. Rinse your brush and we'll just do plain old yellow. There we go. All right, let's rinse our brush. And then we'll put a little bit of orange on our brush. I need some more water there. There you go. All right, let's go back with these. Start right here by the center of the flower and just kind of brush up that color. It kind of blends really nice there. All right. Now you probably still have a little bit of this brown left. Let's go ahead and take that. We'll just kind of put some right in here on those underneath petals there. All right, how are we doing there? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the center. So if you kind of look at a sunflower, it kind of has different colors in a circular pattern. And then, you know, you've got your seeds in there. So we're going to go and start with the center. Let's go ahead and do some little bit of orange. And just kind of tap your brush like this because you kind of want to give it like a little seedy type look. Because if you look at a sunflower, that center is pretty, I don't know, not bumpy, that's not a good word. It's not smooth. Okay. Now let's get a little bit of brown. So it kind of gives it a seed kind of look. Looks like there's seeds or something in there. Now I'm going to do another layer here with the brown. So I would like to see this brown maybe a little bit darker. So let's do an experiment here. A little brown there. Rinse your brush. And now let's take just a touch of black and see what that does. Let's try that. Oh yeah, it gives it a little bit darker. When you're using black, use just a little bit. Now let's do a little layer of green kind of mixed in right around here. So take your green, and you're going to need just a little bit of that green because this green goes a long way. All right, so now we're going to take just the brown. We're going to kind of finish off this center here. All right. So with watercolors, you can even go back like this right here. I feel like I need to blend that in more. So with watercolors, you can just kind of blend that in a little bit more so you don't see the lines as much here too. All right, we're gonna let this center dry just a little bit. So now what I want you to do is go ahead and take that blue super thin brush. We're gonna do some detail. So let's do kind of an orangey brown. So get your orange here. Rinse your brush. Get some brown. Mix it up right here. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of add some detail here. So go ahead and we're going to kind of add some detail to those petals here. If you want, just you can add a little shadow detail there. Need a little more brown. You don't have to detail all of them. Okay, so I don't like that line right here. I'm going to put a little water on my brush. I'm just going to blend it a little bit. It's just too much of a line. There you go. Kind of blend it in just a little bit. All right, let's go back to making some petal details here. All right, now let's take some orange. Add a little darker orange in some of the shadow areas if you want. So I'm kind of taking that bottom layer of those petals and just kind of making it a little bit darker. All right. Let's do some straight brown. All right. So now we're going to do some straight brown right around the edge here. So we're going to kind of smooth this edge a little bit, or not smooth it, make it not smooth. Let's make it look a little furry, I guess. Kind of gives that just a little furry detail. Now let's take some brown and we're going to put a little bit of black in there. I'm going to just very carefully kind of get like a little, almost looks like there's seeds in here. All right, what do you think? So I think that looks pretty good. All right, the very, very most important part of art is you have to sign your artwork. That makes it officially art.